All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of meat in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig a great deal for you.
High passion rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right. We are back, I think. We are live. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting. Whatever it is. I don't know. Can we call this radio anymore? Good question. I don't know. Let's get Chuck in here, too. How's it going, Chuck?
It's going pretty good. It's a little cold. We just got out of the fall spring and back to winter. It's going down to like 21 to 22 degrees tonight. Yeah. Janet, Dennis, all the house. We got Frank Juarez in the house tonight. He's got it set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Tom and Lauren and the Bills and Barb and
we got the whole crew in now.
Dennis.
There, we got to get my boys signed.
They're all dropping in.
There we go. We'll swing her back a little bit. There.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, got to get the background in there.
Yep.
We were just he was in Ohio yesterday.
He got a all in an uproar. That's our boy. Keep him off center.
Yeah, he was in town to endorse one of the senators, I think it was, and he had quite the speech. I think people are getting worried.
I'll go back and take a look at that, listen again, because he kept getting later and later, and I had stuff going on. I didn't get to see it.
Oh, you'll have a few laughs in it.
Yeah, Barb's been working hard. She put pictures up of her greenhouse all planted up and some other things, and now she's working on a glass that she makes neat stuff.
Yeah, I thought I saw earlier they were talking about tomatoes. I think she said hers were just starting to sprout.
I'm waiting on mine. I don't have anything like she's got going on, that's for sure, but we've got 18, 20 starts going and got some raspberry bushes to put in.
So now is probably not the best time for me to say I've got at least 14 or so that are about a foot tall already and another 70 that are 6 inches tall.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I saw Barb. She's doing a good job. Oh, Lauren, I do too. I'm a blackberry fan. So
we'll be working on.
We'll
be working on some blackberries too. Got some wild blackberries. I'm going after.
We've got wild ones out on the ridge. We've got wild ones on our property, but it varies from year to year. And last year wasn't a good year for the blackberries.
Right. These are they're wild black raspberries, and they are just peppered throughout probably about 20 acres.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go out and snag a couple of those to put with the blueberry and cherry bushes.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting a crowd in. Ian's in the house. In the house. Chris made it. Yeah. So we hope we can keep you entertained. Wow. I hope you all you Ohio, all of you out in Indiana, Ohio way, they had some tremendous storms go through there. I just watched a video in Ohio of 2 pretty good sized tornadoes as they were blend into one. It was a monster.
Yeah. We are quite the mess. Actually, shortly after I spoke with you earlier, the governor of Ohio came on and declared a state of emergency for the counties that storm went through, including ours. They said the Indian Lake got hit with F3s, and I just found out a little while before we went live. I had been speaking with you earlier and told you that I was about thoroughly convinced that one of those tornadoes that was headed our way had bounced. I'll come to find out it had made its way into town, and apparently it tore up a little bit at the fairgrounds, and then it bounced. And it bounced about 5 blocks east and continued on with its rampage. And right in the middle of those 5 blocks that it jumped over is right where our house is.
No.
Yeah. I was like, well, I swore it probably bounced. I didn't think it bounced like that, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, they're still signing in. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Hey, Tam. How are you doing? Tam signed in.
Everybody's probably going, what is this? They're actually on? I thought they retired.
There you go. Yeah. Phil posted up he received his winnings.
Yes, he did.
Congrats, buddy. Congrats.
Yes, he did. Although you notice he didn't post up who got them from the mailbox. I'm not sure. But congratulations to Phil once again, and a big shout out to Metal Detecting Central Illinois and Mike Laquamet. Thanks again for the very generous donation, and everybody got a kick out of the giveaway, I do believe.
Yeah. So that was great. That was great. We'll have to come up with something else. Shannon scored according to Dennis.
And it really... Well, that would not surprise me.
That's why I got there first, Josh.
Oh. Well. Although it did make things go a whole lot easier being able to get everybody to comment on the same video. That way, all I had to do was go in and use a random comment picker, and there it was. And it was a very cool prize.
Yes, it was.
And I thought that I might have tried to do a little giveaway tonight, but I figured, after the technicalities that we had Sunday, maybe I better just make sure that I can get this thing off the ground, and maybe another night do a giveaway.
Right. We'll work on something here. And speaking of,
we'll see. But
gold, you guys checking the prices of that stuff?
Yeah.
Silver's been on a steady little climb here where it's $25 range.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a slow little steady climb. It's, well, go to your grocery store and check the beef. It's on a steady climb too, and everything else.
Go to the grocery store and check anything.
I know.
Look at the gas station on your way there too.
My wife brought to my attention. Jill brought something to my attention about the CEO of Kellogg's, telling everybody that they're complaining about the high price of beef and everything. Well, you can eat cereal for supper. And there's a post out there, and they're trying to form up. Yeah, okay. They're trying to form up a boycott starting April 1st, 3 weeks of all Kellogg's products, which is quite the broad range. And I'm thinking, hey,
it is.
Yeah, personal choice. If you want to eat cereal for supper, have at it. At this point, I'm going to eat cereal for supper.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got and nothing wrong with the vegetarians out there either. Everybody's entitled to their own choice, but my food eats their food. So.
Yeah. Cornflake helper for supper. There you go, Shannon. Steve's in the house. Steve Zazulik.
Steve Zazulik?
Yeah, he's here.
Wow. Well, see, the cat's out of the bag now. Everybody knows where to find us. Welcome aboard to Steve.
Yeah, according to ORH, Oscar Mayer is switching to all lab-grown meat. Interesting. I always thought Oscar Mayer hot dogs were
That's interesting.
grown in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced it was a lab.
No.
So I don't know. I just don't know.
Sounds good, Richard. We just come back, got down to the restaurant in Port Byron around 5 o'clock, and they advertised corned beef and cabbage, Got down there, walked in, sat down. She walked up. We're out. The place was packed.
Ah!
They didn't run out of meat. They ran out of cabbage, carrots, and potatoes.
Wow. Of course, I guess, today is St. Patrick's Day. So St. Patrick's Day happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hopefully everybody's got green on.
I'm sitting here with it on. So even though I'm a Scots,
I'm covered. I mean, the logo's green, so I'm
there
good.
You go. Good enough. And this week, Josh,
right,
just to tell you what's going on here, you sent me the link. Bam, it come up. It's working. Beyond Sight and Sound logo, all I got is a swirling wheel.
Ah! Okay, so you can't see the logo.
Yep.
Huh. Well, that's weird. I mean, I can see it. I can see me. I can see you. I can see the chat.
It is. I hadn't done a thing till we hooked up early to see if it was going to work. Camera came right on,
Right.
but your logo never popped up. It just says Beyond Sight and
Huh.
Sound in the bottom with a swirl going.
Huh. Well, I don't know. When I fired up the show system, the webcam did take a pretty good knock. Maybe
yeah?
I've, yeah,
So,
maybe I've
crazy
done
stuff.
something to enter
So
it.
anyway. I got out detected a few days back, and I was using a Deus 2 that was traded into me for an hour and a half, and it did its job. And but how many of you use Deus out there? That's my question tonight. And how much do you like Deus?
There's a few of us in the chat.
I know you do, but you use it alongside of others. You switch back and
Right.
forth.
I use it in conjunction. I do a lot of.
Right.
It all depends on the environment and the scenario.
Yeah, and Barb has the early Deus. I knew that.
Yeah, she's got the Deus, the original generation.
Yep. So,
and from what I've seen from
Bill
the
A.
D2 users, Bill may have both. I know he had a Deus, and I know he's got the D2, but I don't know if he ever got rid of the first Deus. So he may have both of them, and Bill would be a great one to advocate for it, that his quality of finds went up from the Deus to the Deus 2. And that's what we've seen with a number of D2 users.
And Melissa, you are welcome for your shirts. She just put a thank you.
Oh, they got the shirts. Good.
Yep. I didn't put it in overnight type stuff. I did just the ground with them. So it takes a while to get very far.
But and with these storms that keep coming through, you
Oh.
never know what's going to happen with packages. I mean, you were telling me today what was that? The Illinois-Indiana line, they were getting pelted with softball size hail?
Yeah, softball size hail. There was a video popped up. They were on the interstate going into Indiana, and they got hit with softball size hail. It punched the windows out, just beat that. And it wasn't a big strip of it, but the cars they were going by, they were helping people, that kind of stuff. There might have been
still enough to create absolute
just
chaos.
scattered. You know, the smaller cars with the long rear windows, they were out. Front windows were out. The roof just beat the daylights out of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And Barb just said something, what we were talking about. She's seeing people either hate it or love the D2. I've used Deus. I had early Deus, and I've, tried a D2 come out, but I'm so attuned into Garrett and MindLab and Notka. The Deus is still even, and I know you can change it, and I've done it, like a bee buzzing in my ear. It just doesn't.
Right.
I've never got along with it, so I stick with my Manicore. Oh, Frank is in the house. Frank Lapergallo.
Oh, speaking of Manicore.
There you go. We were talking about the Manicore. Look what
and I'll be the first to admit, I mean, when I first got a hold of a Deus, I had to go light, and I had to go light like yesterday.
Yeah.
And the first few days I was out with that thing, I couldn't decide if I wanted to wrap it around a tree or punt a field goal with it. It was like a little ankle biter in my ear. Just chip, 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 chip.
Yeah.
Drove me nuts. So it took a little while to get the hang of the audio. And I even said back then, if XP could come out with an update to make it sound like a Mine Lab, I'd be just fine.
Yep. Yeah, there's Jason uses
but that's not the case.
But he only uses it with the 8-inch high frequency coil. And I know some guys that like that DAS on the beach and in the water, the new one, the 2. And they do pretty well with it. Mm-hmm.
Well, and I knew a few people that they liked the original DAS in the water, but I've heard too many nightmare stories of their waterproof kits failing.
Mm-hmm. But
I would have to guess though that was worked out with the D2.
Yeah. Ron Guinazzo uses it snorkeling, and he was a couple weeks into that trip. It drowned. It fried, but he had it on a warranty. They sent him a whole new module. I had to fill out the paper for him, get it sent in. No problem. They got him a module in time for him. He's already on the road. He's over in England again.
That guy just can't stay still.
No. He's retired and making the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at his finds, I can understand why he can't stay still. He's on the move trying to get the next one.
Yeah. Yep. He don't sit still. I know when you go on his tours with it. You're out the door at 7, you're in the field by 7:15, 7:30, and you come home at 4:30, you clean up, you go get something to eat, and get ready to do it all the next day. Rain, shine, snow, wind, whatever.
Hit the sack, do it all over again.
Yes,
but at least in Aruba, the weather is more complimentary.
Yeah.
The finds may not be as old, but the finds still aren't bad either.
No.
At least not this trip. You did very well for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I did all right. Those guys were tearing it up in the deeper water, but they had to get into the old dead coral. They get a signal, and they're breaking it up. Of course, Ron's down on the hookah, and Tim was hitting a cut, and I was in and out, up on dry, down wet, down in the water. And there'd been a storm before we got in there, so there was a nice cut, and that cut was paying off in lots of different stuff. So I worked the cut.
Well, that's the place to be.
Yep.
I mean, if you can get into them, you just never know what's going to show up. And a lot of times those cuts can drastically change the day for you.
Right.
You may not be finding much at all. You get into a cut, and who knows, it may just light up.
Yep.
And you can't beat that. There were, what was that? I think at least 2 pieces you came back with were 18 karat, weren't they?
Yeah.
And small, then you had the
that was good. And yeah. The other one is unmarked, but it tested out at 14K. It's still unmarked.
Nice. Right. And then you had the
go ahead.
The matched set.
Yeah.
Did you ever come to a determination what that was?
Not yet. I
did
a scratch on it. It's not gold. I still think it's platinum.
Right. Yep. I just didn't know if you had checked any further into that.
Yep.
Either way, Good finds.
Yep.
Take the wins where you can get them.
Jason's talking about northeast Kansas. They had to evacuate the local casino for 48 minutes the other night because of tornadoes. So they traveled a long way.
Yeah. They were tearing things up. I mean, over here for us, they were on the ground before they entered Ohio. The way it sounded to me, listening to the scanner and the storm spotters.
So it's that time of year we get the ups and downs. We're going from fall summer, fall spring to back to winter. And then midweek we're supposed to get back up near 60 with rain and then go back down and have rain and snow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right before we went live, I went out and unhooked the discharge hoses from the sump pumps because we're going to get down below freezing tonight. Had to cover up the blueberry bushes again so I can turn around and uncover them Tuesday, I think, and then have them covered back up again by the end of the week.
Oh, so
just can't win. Just can't win. But that wind with the tornadoes, it was something else. I do know that because I've got probably right around 24 feet of metal fascia that came off of somebody's house. I don't know whose house it came off of, but it's in our backyard.
Well,
and it's mangled enough that whoever's house it went to, they're going to have to buy a new piece because it ain't going back up.
Right.
It ain't going back up. But hopefully, whoever's house it was, hopefully that's all the damage that there was for them. I mean, we had just down the street from us, there was a tree that blew over right into two houses, and thankfully, I guess there was no one home there. And over at the fairgrounds, obviously a number of trees knocked over there that knocked out quite a few power lines, where that was Thursday night, and there were still some people in our area that didn't get their power back until last night.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Somebody had posted up on Facebook. They only lived a few blocks from us, too, as a matter of fact, and said something like hour 36 or 37 without power with the last of my cell phone battery. I've ordered a butter churn and will embrace the new lifestyle.
Oh, Shannon's reporting they went out detecting last weekend, went by a spot been wanting to hit, saw a Tesla sitting there. They stopped, thought maybe it was the owner, which is probably a good guess if they're spending the money on a Tesla. It wasn't the owner, it was another detectorist that was sneaking in. What the heck?
Oh.
He had his stuff hid down the rock pile.
What do you do?
Phil, you missed a bet there, buddy. You could have worked him over good. You could have just said, well, I'm the owner. What are you doing here? And what's this stuff back here? Lord.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis. Travis is in the house.
And I don't know where it's at. Oh, there's Travis.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it's at. They might be able to find it on Tam's timeline, maybe. But somebody posted up a photo of a farmer's field after the tornado. They had a hopper wagon in the field, out in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Setting upright. No damage. And then right next to the hopper wagon was a pontoon boat. Also setting upright.
Wow.
It really, I mean, when they come through like that, the damage and devastation that they can do are
Oh,
just
you know,
so random.
we got hit here in 91, March 13th, I believe it was. Tornado came up on the Iowa side and one on the Illinois side.
Wow.
Then there was two more, two combined, and it was an EF3, hit the town, took out, well, there were 32 homes that were either heavily damaged or gone. Came right up the riverside. There's actually pictures of it when it got, one on the Iowa went into the river and was sucking the water up. It directly hit our nuclear plant. It bounced off of that, literally, and went west again across the river. It bounced. There's a full video of it. You can find them online. And hit Comanche, Iowa, and then dissipated. But it did a direct hit, but there was many at one point as 4 tornadoes in that cell system.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard him talking on the scanner and stuff Thursday, I'm pretty sure when all that hit, we may have had as many as 3 on the ground at the same time headed for us.
Yeah. And we had to go house to house searching. We got called into the nuclear plant, and on video, they never released it. One of their engineers walked outside with a cup of coffee to take a look at the weather. As that hit, it started spinning him, sucked him up in the air, spit him down. It broke his leg, beat him up a little bit. We hauled him out. There was construction going on. There was like 13 trailers, construction trailers in the site. Piled them up like pickup sticks. We had to crawl through and check them all out to make sure no one was in there. And it was...
That's a mess.
That was a mess. And fortunately, the only injury we had was that one. They were doing house to house along River Road. Nice house along the river, but an older cabin in between out toward the road instead of the riverbank. The guys were banging on the door. Finally, an old guy came to the door wanting to know what they wanted. And they walked him outside, and he says, "What happened?" He'd slept through that. The house behind his place on the riverside got sucked into the river. True story.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we walked the next day with it was VHS era, okay? And we got pictures of 2x4s slammed right into trees, sticking 2/3 the way in them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll do some strange things. I mean, I've heard stories of people seeing pieces of straw shoved through a windshield, didn't even break the glass.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You just never know.
So, yep.
And
no, we don't need any more of that crap this year.
No. And I mean, as soon as they hit our county, it was already throwing hail and flattening structures. As soon as they went through, they were staging and doing house-to-house searches because of the, they said that just a little bit of time they were on the ground in our county, the debris trails ran for miles.
Ooh.
Yeah. So once again, apparently we had them right close to the house, but thankfully we got lucky.
You did have what? 2 people die in Ohio from that? 2 or 3?
Indian Lake, the last I heard, they were calling that there were 4 fatalities, but they said 1 was natural causes. And the other 3 were storm related. Around here, the only one that I know of was there was a gentleman that died in a retail store that he had been helping to evacuate the store, and Apparently, after the customers were evacuated, some of the other employees went walking through and found him back in one of the departments. He died of a heart attack.
Oh, well,
unfortunate. It's definitely a mess. They're cleaning up. Everybody's pulled together quite well, though, for the cleanup efforts. And I know after they had went through, that was, well, you know how it goes. You go out, it's dark. All you see is flashing lights and the sound of generators and chainsaws.
Yeah.
Still scary stuff.
Yeah.
Then they were talking that the power was going to, well, they had initially said the power was going to be out until midnight, which I figured, well, okay, that's not too bad. We can deal with that. Then they changed it to midday the next day. I'm going, well, I don't know if I got enough fuel for the generator for that right now. But our power came back on a little after 10 o'clock at night, I think.
There you go. At least it came back.
Yeah, long enough I was able to get the generator put up, get the extension cords put up, and make sure everything was okay in the house and go to bed, get some sleep. That had been a long day for me anyway because of the trip to Columbus and everything. And Tam said, well, we're just glad you made it home when you did, because had I been, I don't know, an hour and a half later, I'd have been in Indian Lake when those things dropped.
Oh, Lord. Not good.
Yeah. Nope. I don't need to, I can't hardly outrun trouble anyway. I don't need to try to, grab the tail of an F3. No, sir. Not at all.
Jason, we got a nice big basement, buddy. He's asking if we have storm shelters. And we have a good basement, and it's pretty solid down here. So, and usually,
right? Yeah, you've kind of got your own personal fallout shelter.
Yeah, I love it though. They blow the sirens, and I'm guilty of it too. They're warning you. You're listening to the Weather Channel. Oh yeah, in the Midwest, everybody walks outside with a camera. All right, where's it at? Serious. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll run out there going,
yeah, you're right.
What is it? I got to see this thing.
Yeah. Usually I'm the one that's just kind of sitting around going, oh, isn't that nice? The tornado sirens are going on. Oh, well.
We take the weather spotter thing at the station. We're all weather spotters, right? So you become a weather spotter, so you got to go out and see it. Everybody goes out and looks.
Right.
And I always talk about the weather warriors. They go down and stand in hurricanes and in hip boots and water. And it's not the hurricane and the wind.
Yeah, and call emergency personnel to rescue them.
Right. It's the stuff that's blowing around that'll get you.
Yeah. Literally. 20 feet of that fascia.
Yeah.
It was wrapped around a utility pole.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, it
picked
stuff up here that we had normally in front of our house and just chucked it across to the neighbor's yard.
A friend of mine in Cordova that hit his house, blew all the windows out, plasters it with mud and stuff, but it picked up his John boat. This is an 18-footer, trailer and all, spinning it down, and it wrapped into one of the big power poles and just folded it around it.
Wow.
The next day, of course, the area is shut off, but people were showing up. The scrappers are showing up, trying to take that aluminum boat off pole and take it and scrap it. State trooper stopped him and said, "This your boat?" "Oh, no, we're just helping a friend." Well, that didn't work out. That did not work out at all.
Yeah, so, they frown pretty heavily upon that.
Oh, really? Yes. Yes, they do.
They will not stand for that at all. Over here, our Walmart, their Tire Lube Express got hit. And some company was dropping off refrigerated trailers. You know, got to keep the food in the store cold. And he happened to see where there were two people trying to gain access through the broken doors of the Tire Lube Express and called the cops. They didn't mess around. There were 2 to 3 units out there right away trying to figure out where they were.
Well, we've progressed now from having tornado shelters to bunkers in the chat.
Right.
And ORH, he has 2, and he says one of his is reinforced concrete, and then the wife has one of those metal sheds. Buddy.
That sounds about right for him.
Richard won't confirm a bunker or not. And basically, this basement, what you see behind me, that's in the center of it. And there's another one on top, and it was specially poured when this place was built to hold that weight and then tied into that. And yeah, it's a bunker. My go-to spot.
And especially for your environment, because you're, 50 feet off of the river?
Yeah, I'm about 50 feet off the river before go over the bank, and 1/3 of a mile from a nuclear plant, and 3/4 of a mile from a chemical plant, and everything else is traveling in between.
Right.
Yeah, right. So
yeah, you got to have a pretty solid basement and foundation for where you're at.
Yes, you do. So it's a good place to come down to. But over on the wall, I can look out. I have windows there, but you come in here and go behind this thing, and it's your concrete all the way around. That's
so if it does, if the winds do get real bad, at least you don't have to worry about flying shards of glass or anything like that.
Right. That's right. But
good.
We're all standing upstairs watching for one.
Right. Who wants to go down there where they're safe? Let's all go outside and see where it is.
That's the Midwest, man. We don't measure it in miles. We'll tell you it's 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're right. We do.
And we count the cows in fields, just like that guy says. Whoop, look at that. He's got some calves. Man, he's coming along good there.
Yeah.
Sell one. I'll raise it and eat it.
Yeah. And then every now and then somebody's pigs get loose, and that's the talk for a while.
Yeah.
We had that a few weeks ago, actually. Somebody's hogs got loose and got out on the highway, and one of them got hit. And that shut the highway down for a while.
Yep.
And
the cattle have got out on the highway, and we'll get a call. I'll get a call from county. Hey, what you doing, Chief? Well, why? We got a bunch of cattle out on 84 up there.
Traffic control.
First, I said, I'll call some guys up. We'll bring up some ATVs and see if we can get them herded up. That's happened more than once.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, we get to hear it quite often, and every now and then we'll get the oddball ones too, where maybe the sheriff's department is chasing down a Portuguese potbelly pig, or few years back, they were chasing a buffalo, I believe. Buffalo or bison. And occasionally you'll hear about them chasing llamas. It's like Wild Kingdom out here.
We don't have llamas nearby. Angus, Charlet, yeah, good beef.
Oh, you get all the good meat, yeah.
Yeah, the boys are raising good ones up here. So
right,
occasionally pick up a calf and take it up to Keith's and raise it, and I'm into beef. I'm supposed to have one late July that we've had. So
nice. Well, that'll fill the freezer out well.
I hope so.
Hopefully. So I guess forewarning to those that are in Ohio, I'm thoroughly convinced after Thursday that Mother Nature has it set in her mind that she's going to try to kill me. The trip to Columbus last month resulted in a snowstorm that turned a 2-hour trip into a 3.5-hour trip trying to make it back home. Thursday's trip to Columbus turned into tornadoes peppering Ohio. So the end of the month, I don't know what she's got up her sleeve to throw at us now. That's why I posted on Facebook, I feel like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. I'm just up there in the crow's nest holler and throw another one. Come on.
You're doing all right. Just hang in there, buddy.
Yep. It's keeping us on our toes. So I told Tam Thursday night, I said, if I'd have just unburied the generator as soon as I got home, before the storm hit, we'd have been fine. Because I'd have been ready for it, so I wouldn't have had to have used it. But no, I left it buried, and imagine that, had to go unbury it.
Well, at least you know where it's at.
Yeah, there was that. And now it is officially unburied. So maybe I won't need it again the rest of the year. But after Thursday night, it might not be a bad idea to do its maintenance cycle on it.
I think I see a new name in the group just popped up, Josh. Carrie Katzenberger, welcome.
That's a new one to me. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
I'm not sure where or how they found us, but that's all right. I'm not complaining.
That has
You're
a Facebook.
More than welcome to join in. Ah, okay.
Facebook. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, tonight, I was able to take care of the things that I'm normally doing behind the scenes while the bumpers are rolling, so I didn't have to backtrack. So we're streaming in a few places tonight. We're streaming in more places than I can follow chats on. I know that much. That's why I'm just kind of hanging out on YouTube.
Janet's over there in Facebook land. She booted herself out. Haven't figured how you did that.
She booted herself out.
What she said, she kicked herself out.
That's the kind of luck I'd have. I guess that's when you just go, wow, you really can't take me anywhere.
Okay, we hit him with the Deus question earlier. How many of you are using the Legend 2 at this point? Or not Legend, excuse me.
Yeah, the original.
How many of you are using Nacus?
Still a good machine at the price point.
Oh, they go out regularly. I mean, okay, RH is using his AT Max, which is good.
Yeah.
All right.
And though the AccuPoint pinpointers, those stay.
Yeah.
Right.
Richard loves the Legend also.
Those AccuPoint pinpointers, Nokta may have a little bit of a hill to climb because of the carrot.
Carrie
that is a solid pinpointer.
Carrie Katzenberger, our new one, just said Simplex.
Hey, still Nokta. And there again, at that price point, waterproof, updatable, rechargeable, you can't beat that price point.
Yeah, Janet's using Simplex AT and an Apex. She's got 3 going there. Jason's on
nice
the Manicore
wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I love that Manicore.
Nice
well, I'll tell you what, the Noxes, the 800 and 900 are not anything to laugh at. They are killer machines. I like them both.
Oh, absolutely. They're very respectable machines.
Oh, man, yeah. But I'm just kind of getting an idea of who's doing what out there. And that pinpointer, as you said, I'm impressed with that. It's serving me real well right now. The AccuPoint.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
If my carrot quit working today, I would have no problems just, continuing on with the AccuPoint.
There you go.
It's a very, very good pinpointer. Not that the carrot isn't, it's an excellent pinpointer too, but I really like what they've done with that AccuPoint. They put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, they did. And that's good. Travis is using his Knox. Janet likes that pinpointer.
Yeah.
Pacifico, what do you say? He uses a SunPow detector. Okay. I know better. I know you've used the Deus a little bit, so.
Yeah, I don't think Aquatech makes headphones for the SunPow.
No, now Frank's in there with Kung Pao chicken. Oh, God. Right?
Oh.
Jason's using GTX. There's nothing wrong about that. He really comes with a Deus 1 like Barb does. Barb uses that Deus out there. That and her PI unit are 5,000. Which one she dragged the coil on? Was that the Deus?
The Nox. The Nox. That'd be a good trick for her to drag the coil cable on a Deus.
That's right.
But yeah, that was her 800. That was the. I want to say that was the stock coil for the 800.
Yes. Yes.
And we do see a number of them in the chat that they're using multiple machines. I mean,
yep, I see that. That kind of come out. A lot of people will. Well, I want to try this one, and it's working. I like this for this, that for that. Yeah, that's good.
Right. Well, and you see others out there that they get one and they stick with it and they learn it inside and out, and that's great.
That's great.
That's absolutely great. But these people that they get a detector, they mess with it for 6 weeks, and then they go to something else. They're not even giving themselves time to learn the machine.
Oh. And Frank is right.
I used a number of them. Where do you have that?
Yep. Frank's changes are coming. Yes, there are. There's several things. Also got notification.
Oh, yeah.
My lab's going to have a conference again. So dealers conference. I'll keep
really?
Yeah, they're going back to having a dealers conference. It's been since, when was the last one? I was
going to say, what's that been? 5 years?
Yeah, I think it has been almost 6.
I was going to say because
What
The
year?
last one was overseas.
Yep, it was in England, and that's when they introduced the Knox. I went over to it. Ronnie, several of us went over to
That would have been 2016, maybe 2016, 2017.
Something like that. We went to Detectable and had a good time.
Right.
Janet, I cannot report anything to you on the new Garrett machine at this time. I even cornered Ringy a little bit, and he won't talk about it.
Right. They've been sworn to secrecy.
Yeah. So,
but I would have to guess it's going to be good.
Anything
Garrett
that
usually has a pretty good track record.
You know, yeah, Frank says he likes his 8-inch coil. I like that 8-inch coil, Frank Juarez. It's a good one. That thing's hot. Yeah. Coil.
Yeah.
Man.
And the nice part, especially with the technology that we have now, you're really not losing any depth between that and the stock coil. Nope. Very minimal.
I've got people still asking for the 8-inch. I've got a list with both distributors. Nothing. Richard says the storm is coming. I know that. And
right.
Yep. And Jason's talking about where the new releases for us will be is Detectable coming in late summer. So, yeah, they like to tie it into events, and that's a good way to do it.
They do, yeah, and that's exactly what it boils down to is marketing. You're going to reach your biggest crowd the quickest doing it that way.
Right. We're going to have to get Frank Juarez on one night, and he can go through mapping with the group. Show you them. That man has got original old maps, copies of old maps. I'm talking tons of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. He's got a ton.
I don't know how many apps. Can't say, Dennis, but it may be along in Alaska. Well, I didn't say that, did I?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I've got it in there. Yeah, that coil's hard to find. I've had 10 of them go through, and I can't get any more right now on the 8-inch coils. Everybody is back ordered.
Wow, so they're a little tough to get a hold of then. And you've got a list in with both distributors, but are you running a list?
Yeah.
How deep is it?
Well, let's see. I got a call. Who called me the other day? I had their name. I think I'm 9 deep on back order.
Wow. Well, it's tough to find, but.
And that was Cody. Cody was the last one, Cody Jones. So I want the 8-inch. I said, yeah. So's a bunch of others.
Yeah, so does everybody else.
Right. So, hey, folks, it is what it is. I mean, if you can find one, jump on it. But right now, distribution in Chicago, they don't have them.
Right. Rarer than hen's teeth.
Hey, Neo Geo, how you doing, man? So
I'll bet he could put one of them 8-inch coils to work out there on the West Coast.
Well, Frank and Dennis, Robert, and I had a guy in California get a hold of Joey. Joey got a hold of me when I first got him in, and he got a spare that went off. And then I got lucky, got a couple more in, and I kept one and took it to Aruba with me, and I've still got it. I haven't let go of that. Frank's came in to, I think 10 to 12 or so that I've got my hands on, and I'm still 9 deep. 10. When they come in, they come in. Neo Geo.
Right.
Yep. So.
Yeah, definitely. But I would expect that it's probably going to be like we saw for the Manicore, where, I mean, they were tight, just trickling here and there, and then all of a sudden, bam. So maybe we'll see the same thing with the coils.
And, I think they'll catch up eventually.
Yeah.
So
maybe by the time the weather is better for all of us to be out hunting and Mother Nature's not doing all 4 seasons every other day, maybe the coils will be available then.
Well, I see the boys in the fields here the other day. They're out. They're not planting. They're just cultivating and knocking that out. And they're prepping. But
right.
April, it's usually April up here around April 15th when they start planting hard. They're worried about frost. So a little further south, it's around the 10th.
Right. Yeah.
But we still got time, but the weather's not looking good for the next 7-8 days.
Well,
here, between rain and snow, cold wind, cold.
No. Yeah. Yep. No good here either. It's either rain, snow, frozen mix, wind chill, freezing.
Right.
It's something else. And then I heard I think that was last week out west there, Donner Pass, they had triple-digit snowfall.
Yes. Crazy.
That's a lot of snow.
It's a lot of snow, but it's known for that out there. I mean, that's nothing unusual.
Yes, it is.
So,
right.
That's why.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine tell me about that, and I told him, I said, see, that's why I told you stay off of Donner Pass this time of the year.
Right. Don't go there. So, buddy, it's after 8. Unless you got something, I'm going to back out. Everybody have a safe week. I hope you can get out. Go find a bucket lister. We'll see if we can get some guests on board, but we got to. Yeah. And I think I'm going to talk to Frank Juarez. See if he wants to come on and talk about his mapping skills. He's good at it.
Yes, he is. He is definitely the map guy. He's got that down to an art form, I do believe.
Right.
He definitely gets you on the spot.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It's just when we get to places and I'm taking a detector and mapping a building out, he said, there wasn't any building here. I said, bull, there's 1,000 nails on 4 sides here. There was a building here, but when we pull them up, we found some of the ones I was pulling up were hand wrought. It predated mapping in that area, so that paid off. So
yeah.
Kerry found a ring last week. Come on, get out.
Every now and then, I mean, even.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, they're doing okay.
Yeah, they're finding stuff. Richard, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So. Stay safe
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm going to sit here and eat my candy bar.
Absolutely.
Find about bucket. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm going to get off stage. You guys have a great night.
Well,
Thanks,
I guess it is about that time. All right. So, let's see here. Oh no, not that button. Yeah, don't do that. Not sure. There we go. All right. Now we got it. So, obviously, for everybody else, I think we are going to go ahead and roll on out of here, but we're glad to see everybody dropped in tonight. Definitely. Can't beat that. Wednesday, didn't even bother putting up an archive over on the audio side, anything like that. But as long as actually, I don't think, yeah, I didn't even bother putting up an archive on the audio side Sunday either. So I guess this one is going to have to show up on the audio side as well. So we are still there on your favorite podcast distribution services. Blah. Tongue twisters. Huh. And in the meantime, don't forget our friends over at Detect America. Can you dig it? Jersey History Hunters. We're here Sundays and Wednesdays as we can be. Things are a little hectic right now. I still got some things to take care of towards the end of the month, and who knows what sort of a rabbit hole that leads us down. We'll see. We'll see. And if you're looking for some laughs and you missed it, make sure and drop back. Check out DA Live from last Monday when they did their Metal Detecting Academy Awards, basically, I guess you could say. Until the next one, throw us a like if you had a grand time. We'll see you on another episode. Have a wonderful evening, folks. Sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.